Today we're finding the best vinyl for sneaker customizers. I'm testing 9 of the top options used by artists and comparing them on things like price, cut quality, ease of use, and how well they handle really intricate designs. Choosing the right vinyl can basically make or break an entire project. And after almost a decade of using this same one here on a daily basis, I figured it was time to finally test if there's something better out there or if this one will remain as my preferred option. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to do is a really simple cutting test. See how well these vinyls can handle something like a sports team logo. We'll use the Chicago Bears logo for example here. But first, let's meet our contenders. We have HTV Ront Vinyl, Cricut Smart, Cricut Premium, Oracal 811, Oracal 651 Matte, Oracal 651 Gloss, Oracal 631, Vivid Blue, and another Oracal 651 in the Black Gloss edition. For all of these cutting tests, I'm using my Silhouette Cameo 3 with a brand new blade just to try and eliminate any potential variables. I've actually used this machine almost daily for close to a decade now. It's an absolute workhorse. I plan to cut each logo right around 1.75 inches, which is a realistic size you'd actually end up using on a shoe. And I'm sticking with the stock vinyl preset settings that are included within Silhouette Studio. So we have a blade depth of 1, force at 10, and speed at 5. Normally with the fresh blade, you might actually back the force down a bit since it's razor sharp, but for consistency, let's let it ride. Across the board, nearly all of them cut exactly how you'd expect. No major outliers here. When you zoom way in, a couple vinyls had tiny details, like the bear's left eye, lift slightly. Nothing ruined, just something you'd press back down. So instead of ranking this test, I'm just gonna give each of them a baseline pass. I did consider reverse weeding without transfer tape, just to see if there was anything that would separate them there, but at this scale, with all of these tight curves and turns within the logo, it wasn't really smooth enough to be a meaningful differentiator. So on to the next one. So cutting basic logos isn't where these vinyls separate themselves. Where it's really gonna start to matter is once we start cutting some tiny text and spraying paint through. For this next test, I wanna emulate a real world use case. A thin script font with a last name and wedding date on a scrap piece of leather. We're loading all 9 vinyls back into the cutter and running the exact same thin script design. Once they're cut, I'm applying clear transfer tape, pulling all the lettering, and spacing them out evenly on a scrap piece of leather. After heat setting everything down, this quickly becomes one of my most anticipated tests of this whole project. What we're really looking for here is edge integrity, clean lines, minimal paint seepage, and none of that nasty spider webbing. Imagine you were doing this for a client on a pair of white Air Force Ones with black paint. You don't have a second chance because you're never going to be able to perfectly match that factory white. So you really need your stencil to come through for you. During application and heat setting, I'm not seeing any major differences yet. None of these feel any harder to work with. And for this test, I'm intentionally not sealing the stencil so that the paint leaks are easier to spot. Once we peel everything back, the differences become a bit more obvious between them, with some vinyls starting to really get a leg up on others. I think the Oracal 651 Matte along with the Oracal 631 were the true outliers of this test, with both of them earning an A tier in my book. Then we have Oracal 811, which is just right behind them, and I'm going to give that a B+ tier. And here's how the rest of the results shook out. Vivid Blue along with HTV Ront earned a B tier, while the rest of them are a C tier, and I'm actually surprised to see the Oracal 651 Gloss end up all the way at the bottom, while the Oracal 651 Matte was all the way at the top. Now I think that this test is going to play a very crucial role in determining which vinyl I plan to use moving forward, because I can look at each of these examples and clearly see that some of these vinyls are now going to cause me an additional couple hours worth of touch-ups just on this little text alone. And as we all know, time is money, so to now go back and spend all of your time and effort just touching up something that you hoped would have turned out better the first time, that hurts. Alright, now that we've seen how these vinyls handle paint and pressure, the next thing we need to cover is the part nobody loves, weeding. To test weeding, I'm cutting a full-scale LV pattern at roughly 12 by 6 inches. What we're watching for here is consistency, especially across a large sheet. Sometimes you'll get clean cuts in one area and incomplete cuts in another, which is a nightmare when you're pulling the negatives. I'm removing each pattern slowly on a diagonal and putting the total weeding time on screen for each vinyl, along with a very loose consistency score for how the pattern turned out. All three of the Oracal 651s, matte, gloss, and black, didn't cut cleanly on the first pass, so I ran them again with a slightly higher force. After that, they performed much better. Overall, this isn't a deal breaker category by any means, but I thought it was worth testing. With some small setting tweaks, all of these vinyls are probably workable for something like this. Basically, each of them are going to get a pass for this test as well. Alright, weeding's done, but this wouldn't be a proper test without actually working on a shoe. So let's take it a step further and do a multi-layer stencil test next. For this test, I'm using a fairly simple crest with a thick outline, giving us 3 stencil layers. I'm applying these to an old practice shoe that's already caked in paint. The heavy buildup acts as a great stress test to see which vinyls can actually handle sitting on top of multiple layers. First step is to apply the silhouette portions of the logo onto the shoe. After that, we'll hit them with light gray, mist, and then white. We can let that part dry for a bit and then move into the next layer of the stencil. You might notice I'm using some excess pieces just to cover gaps. I'm not entirely interested in my overall precision for this logo, but really the overall durability of the vinyl stacking the paint. That's what matters most. We'll repeat some of those same steps by applying black, letting that dry, and then covering up the next layer of the stencil. For the final step, we'll hit them with some black, light gray, mist, white, light yellow, and then finally gold. That's a lot of layers of paint and a lot of chances for failure. Peeling these back, I'm honestly shocked. I expected much bigger failures. Paint lifting, paint tearing, total disasters, and that just didn't happen here. From a distance, the differences are surprisingly minor actually. There's a couple spots here and there where I did notice a bit of paint lifting, but nothing was truly catastrophic. When ranking these, my main factor was simple. Did the paint lift in any spots or not? Precision could always be improved with more time, but durability under pressure had to be a much bigger factor. Here's how I'd rank them 1 through 9. I fully expected this round to expose a few of them, but none completely fell apart. Most held their own. Oracal 651 matte stayed strong again, and this is the first time I've noticed a Cricut vinyl really compete. Meanwhile, Oracal 651 gloss found itself near the bottom again, with HTV Ront taking the last place spot. Alright, paint peel is one thing, and this test genuinely surprised me, but the other big question is how far can you actually push these vinyls when it comes to detail and intricacy? Originally, I wanted to redo the Jägermeister logo, one of the most intricate stencils I've ever cut, but I quickly remembered how much fine-tuning that actually takes. I cut a couple of the vinyls, but realized if I was willing to be stubborn enough, I probably could have gotten each of these up to par. Instead, I pivoted to a controlled detail test. Ultra thin lines, micro text, and a halftone dot pattern. There's a lot going on here, so I think that this should make for some great visual standouts. This time, just to play with the variable, sealed the stencil first by spraying neutral, and then hit everything with a bright red. Once we peel these back, we have another couple strong standouts. I think that the Oracal 811 and the Oracal 651 in Black Gloss really rose above the pack and earned A tier status for this test. Then we have our B tier, made up of Oracal 631 along with both of the Cricut brand vinyls. And our C tier, which for the first time features Oracal 651 matte not coming in near the top of the ranking, along with some of our other usual suspects. Now that we've put all of these vinyls through our various stress tests, it's time for our final comparison, price and availability. So let's break this down by cost per square foot, roll size, and how easy it is to actually get your hands on them. I purchased all of these vinyls right off of Amazon, except for the 811 roll, which I already had plenty of in the shootout. It's unfortunate that the 811 is almost never available on Amazon, and that is a big factor here. Overall, the pricing's actually a lot closer than you'd probably expect, and honestly, if a vinyl performs noticeably better or saves you hours of touch-ups, that small price difference is totally worth it. So with all of that in mind, it is now time to pick our winner and give you my recommendation on which vinyl to use. Here's a quick scorecard for each of the vinyls. And here's the full performance leaderboard. You can see how each vinyl ranked across the stress test plus their total placement. Lower numbers mean stronger performance. There's a big part of me that says to just stick with Oracal 811. I've literally used it on thousands of pairs and it's totally earned my trust. But the fact that the Oracal 651 matte ranked first place in 2 of our 3 most important categories really says a lot about it. I think I just need to put it to the test on a few real commission projects where the stakes are much higher to see if it'll actually earn a permanent spot in my rotation. But as of right now, my top 3 are Oracal 811, Oracal 651 matte, and Oracal 631. A surprising dark horse that not as many people swear by that I just decided to give a try. I, for one, am shocked at how this entire experiment turned out. I really thought that in some cases, certain vinyls would just be blowing other ones out of the water, especially based off of some of the recommendations that I got from you guys and how passionate you are about certain vinyls and how they're the best one and they work the best for you. And I think that goes to show that any of these vinyls can get the job done at the end of the day. And so much of it is just gonna come down to that user familiarity with the vinyl and just constantly using it on a regular basis in high stress situations where you need it to come through and just becoming more and more familiar with it. So anyways, I wanna say thank you guys so much for tuning in for another video. Please go ahead and drop a like on it if you haven't already. Make sure you're subscribed, and now everybody get out there and just create.